Thanks, Gus. All right, cool. I'll put my charts up. Yeah, that sounds really good, doesn't it, guys? Okay, it still hasn't allowed me to share my screen. I am the presenter, chat, Q&A. And under quick start. Oh, there it is. All right, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, May 22nd, 2015. It's still not showing me stuff. Hang on. Oh, here we go. We got it. It's just slow. Slow as molasses on a cold Georgia morning. Let me get the chat room going. Where's the chat? Where did it go? All right. There we are. Everything's right as rain. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right. It just took a long time for it to load. All right, good. And apparently my mic was off. So thanks, Gus. Program looks really good, guys. Looks really, really good. Right on. So let's get going. Today is May 22nd, 2015. My name is Wayne McDonell. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay. I'm also the founder of FXBootcamp.com. Good to see you. Can you see the screen? Can you see FX Street website and the charts? Can't see that as well. Cool. All right, so let's get going. What do you guys want to do today? How about some currency trading? All right, sounds good to me. Let's go. Oops. So I'm just looking around the world here. Currently, the British pound is weak. The euro is strong. The Swiss franc is moderate. The yen is weak. The dollar had been weak, but has moderated. You know, it's gained some of that back, and all the commodity currencies are weak. So really, right now, it seems to be a bit of euro in play. We have a U.S. holiday on Monday. Things can get quiet. However, traders can't take off early today, and why is that? Normally, a lot of professional traders would just take this day off or leave really early, right after the stock market open, and then you know, have the rest of Friday off, and Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday's a holiday, so you have a big, nice, long weekend. But why not today? Yeah, Yellen speaking. Yeah. Yeah, so you have to hold the helicopter off until later in the day, until after Yellen speaks, and then you get in the helicopter and go off to the Hamptons. So, oh well, bad timing on that, I suppose, right? Bank of Japan, no major changes out of the Bank of Japan. I was hoping that they'd go into summer with some sort of stimulus, because what they've been doing hasn't been doing an amazing job. But nothing yet today, as far as what they were saying. So let's take a look at things technically. Lots of noise going on. You can see my charts are going to be kind of messy because I'm constantly, right? I'm constantly doing analysis. So if you only join me once a week here at FX Street, hopefully it's not too confusing. I do these events every single day at TradersWay.com at the same time, 7:30 in the morning. You're welcome to come on by. Just open a demo account. Okay, so let me zoom in. I just wanted you to see the general trend on this thing, right? And you can see we've had it fibbed and then fibbed and then fibbed and then fibbed. And we're kind of in this area in here, right? You don't want to use a drawing tool for that. It's gonna be a good trade. Now everything on my computer is slow today. Why is that? Drawing tool is just totally frozen. All right, well, I guess I won't be using that. So here's what I'm looking at. When you have a higher high, the first thing you should try to expect or plan for is a retest of the area to the left. What used to be resistance may now be support, and you'd look to go long here. Okay, somewhere in this zone. If you zoom in a little closer, you're going to use some moving averages. Currently, we're looking at the 55 EMA. It was very similar to here, okay? Except you shouldn't expect the 55 EMA to make such a dramatic higher high. So obviously some news occurred, right? Came all the way down, and I would expect it because the 55 is in control. I said it here and we knew it would go up, or the plan was it would go up. I didn't expect it to make a higher high, so that's where new information in the market helps. But let me change this so this, because the 55 is in control, I believe at best it'll double top. So I'll say up to the pivot points and then probably down. Okay. Probably meet up with that 200 EMA. And then if I were to guess, you know, barely a full cycle and then down. Now, I'm a bull in this pair, but that's that. I mean, I don't know, it's just my analysis, right? Alan wants to know the stochastic settings. Yeah, my pleasure. How's that? That red and green indicator, you can have it, but you have to send me a Cuban cigar. It has to be a big brand name. It has to be at least 55 in ring gauge, preferably torpedo. Cohibas are fine. They don't have to be Cohibas. I like the Monte Cristo number 2. Best cigar ever made. Yeah, it's a pivot point indicator, and you can Google it. One of the wonderful things about MT4 is that you can customize it. Customize 50's hot rod. There's no two MT4s alike, so you can just Google pivot point indicator, and you will find 1,000 of them. In fact, many of my charts have 2 or 3 different types of pivot points over top of them. Not different formulas per se, but just different indicators, so I can have, let's say, daily, weekly, and monthly overlapping. Yeah, I'm always begging for Cuban cigars. You know, you can have all the money in the world, but some things you just can't buy. Love, Cuban cigars. Well, that's about it. Money buys pretty much anything else. So yeah, luckily I have love. What I don't have are Cubans. All right. Yeah, in all seriousness, if you do need to reach me, you can email me at wayne@fxbootcamp.com. Let me know if I can help. I'm also looking for successful Forex traders. I'm looking for an Elliott Wave expert. If you need like a job, So I don't know. Let me know if anybody's out there. Yeah, Mark's is I should be able to. Yeah. So one of my to-do lists is to get on a plane, fly to Cuba, and watch a baseball game before it turns into Disneyland. So, anyways, please email me if you have questions. And like I said, if you're an L8 Wave expert and you want a part-time job, that's fine too. And I'm looking for successful traders and all that kind of stuff. Hey, my drawing tool just showed up. Can you guys still hear me? The drawing tool I clicked on 6 minutes ago just showed up, and I'm not sure if it's going to be able to. Oh man, it's totally freaking out. Okay. It's totally freaking out. Hang on. I might have to Control Alt delete this one. I hope it doesn't mess up the room. It's just, wow. All right, hang on. Stupid Windows, huh? I think it's going to be this one. All right, that should be better. Yeah, the PC. Yeah. All right. So is everybody live? I'm sorry for all of that. We'll just have to go without my drawing tool. Let's take a look at Euro USD. I'll take that as a yes. Everybody's still alive? Yeah, I don't want to reboot. Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you, guys. All right. So now we have a wonderful lower low. Awesome. So I'm going to play it sort of like this. Okay. That's how I want to play it and create. I mean, it could actually go a lot higher. So I'm going to create two scenarios. One is a pretty big pullback, and it's not based on the fib. What I'm looking at over here is the shoulder. But let me adjust the fib as well, because you see we already had it set to do this. Oh, where did that come from? Okay, so let me align it now with the 618. Okay, and so what I'm really doing is I have this 618 that I'm going to use as future potential resistance, and I'm also eyeballing the the previous shoulder and sort of dragging it out that way. Let's like do real bodies, drag this over, and it's a weekly central. So there's a few things going on. So that's going to be one potential play. And the next potential play would be to sell it off the top of the channel. And the way I did that is really what I did is I created the channel. I took it off the left shoulder here, but I'm actually eyeballing this high to this low, which is predicting this high. Okay? Does that make sense? If I had a drawing tool, I'd make it even more clear. So I just don't know really if it's going to kick off the 382 or if it's going to kick off the 618. So I got really two trade plans on this one. What do you guys think? The key point to this analysis is, where's my circle? I don't have a circle. Insert shapes, ellipse. The key to this is this low. I know I got a lot of things going on my chart, but like I said, I update this every day, so it's sort of like a continuing story, right? So it's like a drama. All right. So that low is below this low here, which immediately sets up a 1, 2, 3. Now you can call it a 1, 2, 3 reversal, or you can call it a head and shoulders, or you can call it a crown. It's all the same, only the names change. Okay, so that's, you either shorted that sort of recently. So let's go off the daily and let's go on a hourly. And there you go. So if you've missed it, then what you can do is then you fib this. You'll notice now that we're basically at a 382 Fibonacci retracement of that move. So I'm going to drop into a 15-minute chart. And wouldn't it be interesting? Yep, let me get this a little more. Okay, wouldn't it be interesting? IELF. We had a scenario like this. What do you think? Plausible? Check the 5-minute cycle. 5-minute wants to come up for a while. Suggesting as much as a 618. Is there anything else going on up there? Let me check for psych levels. Up to 118, or sorry, 118. 111, where's 112? It's pretty high up there. I don't think it, so if you didn't sell a 112, which I'm not sure why you wouldn't have, but see, here's the thing. I don't think it's going to come way up here to 112. That's what you should have shorted earlier, right? So plan B would be a 618. And I would be preparing to sell now, except the 5-minute wants to oscillate a little bit higher. So it says not now, but maybe in 15 or 20 minutes we'll be set short on this. What do you think? Yeah, so we're close, right? But not like right now. I have down to a 5-minute stochastic cycle, and when Alan asked for my settings, I don't know if you noticed, my settings are much more sensitive than a typical out-of-the-box stochastics. I speed it up. Okay, so we're like hypersensitive here. We're cutting it down to the minute. Okay. Set an ABCD. Call it what you like. I wouldn't call it that. I'm just looking for a Fibonacci retracement, kicking off of a resistance area. And the strategy is a lot easier than you might think. We broke below 112, then we've come back to retest 112, and you should have shorted. That's all it is. I wish I had my drawing tool, but it failed on me. It's not much more complicated than that. And the Aussie dollar's done this a lot recently, right? Anyways, below the key area, retraced, retested 12. You should have shorted. So you're already on your sloppy seconds on this one. But sometimes it happens. All right. Right. So like to draw that without my drawing tool, the logic is this. I'll try. Pretend this red line here is support, and all of a sudden support is broken. Are we in an uptrend or a downtrend? Just based on that one little thing. Down. Okay? So the next, based on price action theory, and even Fibonacci, and probably Elliott wave, price will come back and retest it. Is it still support? It's resistance. What boot campers call roll reversal. So you sell that. It's just that easy. I mean, there's no more to it than that. Very, very, very simple. And that's what occurred here on the higher time frame. We broke below 112, came back, retested 112. You should have shorted. That's it. And we do this on 5-minute charts, hourly charts, daily charts, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's just simple fractal geometry. All the price and time information's on all charts. The only thing that changes is your point of view. The observable. The observer changes, but price and time is constant. Okay, so since that, let me flip over now to the Aussie dollar, because that's been going on for days and days and days. Break, retest, break, retest. Do I even have Aussie on here? No Aussie. Let me flip over and get you some Aussie. Where's my Aussies? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Right now, everyone in Australia is scrambling for the keyboard. I have to answer. Wow, no Aussies, huh? Right, so how am I going to play this out? An hourly, maybe? Let's look at key areas here. Let's do one without pivots. Let me take this one. Well, it's got pivots. This one doesn't have pivots. All right. All right, let's mark some key areas here. Okay. 0.810000. 0.80000. 0.790000. These are big psych levels, right? And you have this opportunity that when you break through these things, this isn't a perfect one, but it would be your plan, would be to look to reshort on the retest. Now, it went a lot higher than you thought and created a head and shoulders, but it happens. Okay? But the problem, the point is, on the break, you should be ready. Okay? You're at the ready. That's all. So anyways, goes from almost 82 through 81, retest 81, down, 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 all the way to 80, which is also the roll reversal from this one. So if you're a bull, you should have gone long. Oh, and look at the only thing is it's just made a lower low, lower high. So I don't know why you'd still be a bull. Okay. What you should be doing is looking at the roll reversal this way for a sell. Okay. Down, 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 breaks the 80 level. Now your plan should be to sell the retest of the cycle level. Up to 80, look to short. Okay, down, 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 down. Now you would mark this area as a potential short. Clearly we didn't get it, but you're at the ready. Eventually there's a moderate break, right? And so in here, you should be at the ready. Now we're consolidating. It doesn't matter. So once you've failed to make the lower low, then you start range trading and you stop trend trading, right? Okay. Let me just double check this since we're talking about that swing in there. So it's just made a little 50%. So you just got to be cautious. But you can see the break, retest, break, retest, break, retest. Okay. And then also pay attention to how I turn support into resistance, support to resistance, support to resistance. Okay, and then lastly, another thing to acknowledge is look how important the psych levels are. Extremely important. Okay? many people find the price action part interesting? Did anybody just, I don't know, did anybody have an aha moment? Just, I mean, it's not the most revolutionary I just showed you, but do you just sit there and you're like, wow, you know, I don't know. Do you get jazzed or something? Any emotions at all? Everybody's a machine. All right, cool, thanks. Look, hey, as we go through this, I don't know how many people are in the room, but I think 400 people registered for today. I used to ask for feedback when FX Street had a forum. They used to have a forum, and I'd have people post, you know, just, you know, what they learned in the class. It was great. We had thousands of pieces of feedback. The easiest way to do it now at FX Street is if you go to the registration page, and I'll post the link here wherever the chat is. I want to ask you for something. It'll take you less than 1 second. Do you see the little thumbs up on the left, just above my name? If you picked up any enjoyment or any piece of wisdom at all, or just emotional wisdom, or maybe just a chuckle, click that like and let me know that you care. That's all I'm asking. That's less than 1 second. Would you do that? And I'll keep going, and hopefully I'll earn your thumbs up. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah, a whole 1 second. I'll give you 75 minutes today. All I'm asking for is 1 thumbs up from you. Would you do that, please? All right, so let's keep going. So that's the Aussie. And on a longer term, so if we go out to like the day chart, it's a little congested here because we haven't been told where the RBA wants to take this. Okay. So when it was down here near 75 and a half, it was at 75 and a half because that's what the RBA told us it was worth. And so we get to the floor, and then if that's all it's worth, you know, it's sort of the scenario of, you know, it can only go down another 50 pips, but it could go up indefinitely. So there was more up than down. But we're all sitting around, and, you know, RBA is talking about further rate cuts and all that kind of stuff. Fine, but there's nothing to price in yet because, again, Governor Stevens said it was worth 75. So no one wants to buy it. Nobody wants to sell it. But you can see a pullback to 80, 81, 82. You know, all it is this. Okay? That's all it is. And so now we're caught. We're range bound, right? That's all. That's the only pain. So I would play it that way if I were me. What currency pairs would you like me to cover today, guys? I don't want to, if you don't want it, I don't want to do it. How can I help? Talk to Uncle Wayne. Talk to me, Goose. USD CAD, fine. La 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 la. You know, I'll do this one because it's nicely marked up. Baby, if I ever blunder. All right. Beep. So that's where we are. Last week, you know, might have been this this session last week. We are at the bottom of the range. You can see it's very clearly marked. These are 4-hour candles. We went from a downtrend to sideways. You can see the big pullback here, then the double bottom. So now you go from trending to range trading as far as your strategy and the tools you use. Came back, we were back down in here, so I have this little arrow saying, well, we should at least go to the top of the range. This was an arrow. It's just, oh yeah, it probably still isn't, just too small to see on this time frame. But it was suggesting if we get up here, you should look to short. However, plan B is if it made a higher high, you would buy the retracement. So we had it drawn sort of like this, down if it gave you the opportunity. But if it made a higher high, then the plan is this. Okay. Now we're just sort of consolidating, waiting for the market to drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak. That's where we are in that cycle, and it you know, I'm thinking sort of up in here at the moment. Okay, so yesterday it looked really good because we hit our mark and just took off like a rocket ship. And that's failed. Then another thing that I tend to do is I tend to fib that, and that's even failed. So we're sort of in a micro sideways range at the moment. Okay, and this down never appeared, which is part of the breakout scenario. Okay, and that's where we are. We were trending, then we moved sideways for many months, which was nice, easy trading. Then it broke out, did a retest, right? Just like I had finished teaching, right? On the Aussie, it was similar. Breakout, retest, short there. Breakout, retest, short the role reversal, and then double bottom, double top, double bottom, you know, triple bottom, and then maybe breakout to the back into here. Cool, right? When to trade it? Well, that was yesterday's plan, right? Okay. This is what we were talking about yesterday, sort of in there. So now it's just, you know, a Friday afternoon before a long weekend. We're probably not going to get the best price action, but you could try again if you've missed it. So you drop into a smaller time frame, right? And, you know, it's not really bullish at the moment. You can see that we got bearish divergence. Well, double topping. In fact, it should be more like that. So, you know, I wouldn't do it now. You know, you should have done it down here, right? So in that case, let it come to the bottom of the range. Just treat it like any sort of range-bound market. It's just a mini market, right? And the closer you are to the bottom, with the oscillator kind of down here, you could look to buy it off the bottom. Okay, kind of like that. Now, typically one might fib this, right? There's a problem with that because this isn't a higher high. We're not trending, so why are you using trending tools? You see? Also, the divergence suggests it's coming down, not up. So I wouldn't plan on it going up. I'm planning on it coming down. Helpful? Any questions, guys? Yeah, okay. Which EMAs do I use? In this case, there's no EMAs. Boy, if the moderator's listening, I know the moderator has links to the videos I've done in the past. If you hear my plea and cry, you happen to know the links to the strategic and tactical Forex trading webinars. I did a 2-hour training course at FX Street about my trading strategy, and I go through everything. Let me check here. I did it. What sounds good? 2008. Oh, here it is. Cool. 2008. We'll start you off here. Copy. Okay, so you can see there's part 1 and part 2. So that's 2 hours, maybe longer, maybe 3 hours total. And I go over every setting and every part of the strategy. And obviously, it's a long presentation, so it's very detailed. I'm sure someone would charge you $1,000. But in conjunction with FX Street, it's free. How nice is that? No, I love you, George. All right, come on, guys. 400 people registered and only 23 people are having a good time. That's sad. Maybe I should have taken my long weekend early. It's not cool, Brew. All right, so let's go to the next one. Here, we did pound yen, USD yen. Oh, pound dollar? Okay, we'll do that next. Don't let me forget. Okay, this is the range that we're in, or what that we were in. You see this? This is USD yen. We've been moving sideways for a very long time. Okay, and we're about to get seriously bullish. We've had a breakout, a retest. Okay, we're in a roll reversal. We're near a 382. We're almost done our 4-hour cycle. Okay, and the next move is 382 predicts a 1618. We're on our way to 123. I think we'll wimp out around 122. So why don't I'll reset it off 122. And I'll mark it sort of like that so it catches both. Thank you, Fernando. Okay, so on a smaller time frame, we're in a buy zone now. Okay. Let me zoom in here. Come on, MT4. Okay. Let me zoom in a little more. Okay, so you can see we clearly have a buy zone, eh? As they say in Lee. Oh, come on, MT4. There we go. All right, there we go. So you can see this is the pullback that we were expecting. This is the roll reversal we're in. We came down to a monthly pivot, oscillator recycling. You know, somewhere in there you could have bought it if you wanted to. That's not the world's greatest trade, but if you're a bull, it was definitely plausible. Okay. The 382 is farther down to 120.50. So it just depends if you're playing 121 or not. Now, if you're trading the shorter term as a bear on this one, which is just fine, then it broke below 121. You're selling 121 now, right? And your target would be, you know, somewhere around this weekly M4 382 on the bigger move. Let's try to align them a little bit. So it's about the same. So as a bear, you're selling this 121 area, and your target is 120.50. And then as a bull, you want it to turn around and head back up the other way. Okay. Now keep in mind Monday's a holiday. That could mess up your technical analysis, but that's what the texts are telling me, okay? Yes, the 5 EMA. Yeah, 5 EMA. Ride the 5. Okay. Now that I got a request for pound dollar, I'm happy to do that as well. I've been a bull of the British pound since I think the last week in March. The problem is, in the last week in March, the trend was bearish. So why would I be a bull in a bearish downtrend? I think pound yen already did, but I can do it again if need be. Why would I be bullish on something that's in a bearish downtrend? Hello? No. Because I want to lose money? Well, I didn't say I was buying it. I just said I was bullish. Listen to the language, guys. I didn't say I was, yeah, okay, fundamentals. Right, good. You mean like commitment to traders report? No, not yet. Carney, thank you. The governor of the Bank of England, Carney, told us, even though the inflation data was horrific for the United Kingdom, that it's short term and related primarily to the crash in oil prices. And this guy is very conservative. So when he says, forget about it, don't worry about it, it's actually pretty shocking. What was that rating? Okay. So I needed then somebody to back up Carney so that everyone would believe that he's telling the truth. So that's when we guessed it would be the IMF report coming out 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later, the IMF report comes out, and the pound dollar does an inverse head and shoulders, which is a reversal pattern. And it's been up ever since. Cool. Right? So it started with what Carney told me. Then it had to be seconded by a neutral third party, which was the IMF. And at exactly the same day the IMF released, which was what, the 13th of April, we get an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a reversal pattern, and it's been up ever since. Could be a big old coincidence, but it seems like a lot's going on there technically and fundamentally. So anyway, so I just want to set that tone. The problem with the pound dollar is I'm bullish on both. So what occurred the other day, or what message you're hearing from me lately, is that on days when the dollar's weak, I want to be long pound dollar. On days that the dollar is strong, I want to be short euro dollar. All right? Write that down. It's important. On days that the US dollar is weak, I want to be long pound dollar. On days that the US dollar is strong, I want to be short euro dollar. Okay? So anyways, we've made our way up to the 618. Seems like we stopped. What? Amazing, huh? Let me get rid of that channel. Hang on. So you see the bounce up to the 618 consolidation. So when the dollar's strong, you could sell this, but I'm bullish on the British pound, so I'll leave it. Okay, so that's my thought process there. If that creates a lower high, then that's suggesting that the U.S. dollar is going to be strong for a very long time. Samir, I don't tend to trade euro pound. I'm more of a dollar trader or a yen trader. So I'm going to base it more on macroeconomics. I mean, you could argue that it's money leaving Europe and going to the London. Okay, that's fine. I'll buy that. But it's not something that I tend. Oh, you know what? Because when I have all the dollar pairs and all the yen pairs, I have more than enough to choose from. Okay. And remember, the United States and Japan have the two most mature markets in the world. So why not Europe? Well, I just said there's no dollar and there's no yen on that. So what I happen to very often say is, is it a risk on day? Is it a risk off day? And I'm looking for correlation. So on days when dollar's strong, I'm buying dollar across the board. On days that the yen is weak, I'm selling yen across the board. I might be on 5 yen pairs all north. Okay? When I use the euro pound, what I'm asking myself is which one is stronger than the other. So on a day that I'm selling dollar, I'm going to look on euro pound to see which one is strong, right? And if I'm buying US dollar, I'm going to look at euro pound to find out which one's weak. Now, based on fundamentals, I have a guess, but that's how I use it, okay? I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm just telling you that's the way I use it. I'd say about 90% of what I do is I'm either buying and selling dollar or buying and selling yen. There are times when like the Aussie dollar is dropping like a ton of bricks. So for a year, I just traded Aussie dollar like you wouldn't believe. All right. A couple of years ago, I traded Aussie pound more than I've ever traded in my entire career. I traded more that 1 year than 10 years combined. So it also depends what else is going on. But generally speaking, I'm a dollar. In my book, I actually talk about the greenback guru. That if you're going to specialize at something in the beginning of your career, it should be the greenback. It should be the U.S. dollar. Well, you're actually a trader, Alan. So why don't you answer that for yourself? Get some books on bonds and stuff. But what you do as a currency trader, by and large, has to do with foreigners buying, selling bonds across borders. Okay? Because, if money doesn't cross a border, it won't change any value, right? So that begs the question, why does money cross a border? Why does money go from the United States to Europe? Tourists? Yeah. Business transactions? Sure. But the rest is the bond market. Big chunk of it is global money flow based on investing. Okay. Yeah, and equities. Yeah, but equities are so tiny compared to bonds. Okay. So, guys, it's a great question. We could talk about it for hours, or I could just I can reinforce it by saying it's something you should look into. It's something that you should know. Do some research. Get interested. Start buying books on the bond market, for example. Or just start doing research and say, you know, what's going on at the ECB and in Greece are affecting bond prices and interest rates in the Eurozone, and how is that correlating with the value of the euro? And you might find out the euro has everything to do with European bonds. You see what I mean? You're like, oh my gosh, well, it's always been about bonds. Yeah. So yeah, get into it. Fall in love with Forex. That would be a great thing to do this summer, guys. Buy 2 or 3 books on foreign bonds and bond market and all that kind of stuff and get into it. Now, do you need to get into like bond pricing? Do you need to get into the future value of money and all that kind of stuff and the bond pricing so you can, you know, do present discounted values of future cash flows from bonds? No, but you should look at it at a macro level. How do bond yields impact global money flow? That's the way that I think you should go at it, okay? Macroeconomic level, okay? Good question. Good question. All right, well, what else could I do? How else can I help? Kiwi dollar? All right, fine. Happy to do that. Yeah, I'll cover the news. Do you guys want me to cover the news live? Okay. Again, 400 people registered. 26 people think this webinar was useful. It's pretty lame. All I've asked for is 1 second of your time. So yeah, I'll cover the news. Would you click that? Show me that you care? Thank you. Maybe I'll cover the news live. I'll get you the results faster than anybody else on the planet. How about that? Cool. All right, so I got a request for Kiwi. I'm happy to do that. All right. Now, I thought somebody wanted me to do yesterday, and I said, ask me at a FX read. All right, come on. All right, thank you, guys. Bunch of people just clicked. Thank you, I appreciate that. Muy bien. Went from 26 to 35. I appreciate that. All right, cool. So Kiwi. What trend are we in now? Well, once we broke out, you have to mark the role reversal area. We made the lower low, then we came all the way back. All right, it shouldn't have gone that far back, but it did. And then what did it do? It wimped out here. So I would sell the high side of this, but only expecting a bottom. So if you're aggressive, I think you can expect a market that is sideways on the low, on the low down, and or something like this. Okay. So against this pair, I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. Okay. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to do a lot. Dollar is strong, but Kiwi's not that weak. Yeah, it's, you know, Kiwi is a lot more independent from China than, let's say, the Aussie dollar. The economy is relatively stable. The yields there are significantly higher than all the other major countries. So there's just not a massive reason to be selling it. But there isn't a huge reason to be buying it against the US dollar either. Oh, hang on. Let's do the CAD. This is TradeTheNews.com.
Ten seconds. US CPI 0.1% in line with expectations year over year, minus 0.2% in line. Core plus 1.8%, 1/10 higher than expected. Canada CPI year over year at 0.8%, 2/10 below expectations. Canada Consumer Price Index 126.5. And Canada Core at 2% at 10th below consensus expectations. Canada retail sales higher than expected at 0.7% versus 0.3% and 0.5% ex autos versus 0.4%. The back month was revised lower for retail sales in Canada, 1.5% from 1.7% and 1.8% year over year from 2%. Again, core Canada CPI at 2.3% versus 2.4% expected. Again, the headline U.S. in line, core year over year in line. And USX core at 1.8% with 1/10 higher than expected.
Cool. So it's going up off of our support area. Inflation in Canada was negative. Inflation in the United States was positive. You get the perfect storm here. You going to trade the pullback? What's your plan, Stan? Good. Euro USD fell. Guess what? It broke through one. Oh yeah, it sold off the 118.80. I think we had that one marked. Yeah. Let's see. How accurate were we? How would you grade this setup, guys? The one that we did on a 5-minute chart, if you remember. I'll switch it to a 5-minute chart. Anybody? Yeah? Everybody okay? I mean, we started on what, a 4-hour chart, then a 1-hour chart, then a 15-minute chart, then a 5-minute chart, even a 1-minute chart, I believe. To try to come up with where to sell that. It kind of, you could see it came up and right in there, right off the 50. So it was pretty cool. Right on, Marina. Yeah, I knew a Murray. I know a Murray. Haven't talked to him in a while. All right, so now what do you guys want to do? In this case, I'm going to do two things. Okay, fib the move because it's trending, so I have to. It's my job. And then look for a short somewhere between the 382 and 618. In a typical scenario, I would look for the 618. But because it's a high volatility one, we might only get a 382. If it doesn't pull back, then I just have to wait. Okay, I'm just looking around the world. USD CAD, just getting through midpoint psych. Okay, flip over. We can do what? I was going to do Aussie. Do I? I don't have Aussie on this one, right? I know we talked about it earlier. It's gonna be a good day. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi! That's what I was expecting before. Nobody oi, oi, oi'd me. Come on now. It always has a pullback, Foo. Just it just depends if you have enough patience or not. 480 bucks. That buys what? That buys a six-pack of Cohibas. Awesome. Can't wait. Email me and I'll tell you where to mail them. Dinner. Oh, I thought we had a markup on this one. I guess we didn't. Just traded at the bottom of the range, I guess. Dollar index, pretty good. It's at yesterday's high. USD yen, that's one that we marked it, right? Let's go back to that. We probably did it here. Let's try to get this on like an hourly chart. All right. So that's the plan. Was this the first plan we did today? Yeah. What did I say? 122 to 123. Am I right? How many people heard me say that? When we're at like 120 something, I'm talking about 122, 123. We did the projection off the 382. I have it marked up in here, right? 123. Cool. Well, it's moved about 85 pips, I think, in that direction since I've taken the mic. Cool, huh? There it is. I haven't touched it since. Can I get an amen? Hallelujah! Looks like it's going to try to go, huh? Cool. Yeah, Aussie's falling fast and furiously too. Very nice. We got a monthly pivot, or are we looking through that right now? We might be right on top of the monthly central pivot. Can anybody confirm that for the Aussie dollar? Be some level of caution anyways. But if I was short that, my target would be 75. So whatever. So let's move over to the kitty cat. Let's try to guess what direction I was planning on it going. What the trade plans seem to be. Is the plan up or down? Plan that we've had now for 2 weeks. Seems to be up. We had the breakout, so we're no longer range bound. So we're going to buy the pullback, which is clearly marked. It was actually yesterday's trade plan. It's just been waiting. Double bottom, this is the part we did today with the intent of having it go up, not down. And we've now broken through and it's trying to make a higher high. Next target is 123, 124. Very similar to the US yen in price, right? Price and direction. So we did a good job on USD yen. We did a good job on USD CAD. We did a good job on Euro USD. That's not bad then, right? Yeah, you could trade it as a triple bottom, but you know, all of that is nonsense, right? Sure, it's a triple bottom, but we talked about it like 3 days ago that it was going to do this before it even, when it was still up here. So is the triple bottom important, or is it the fact that you already had that planned out a day or two before the triple bottom even formed? I think having the forethought is much more important than, you know, this. I mean, sure, it's noise, but you should have bought it here, here, or here. It wouldn't have mattered, right? All right, so that's, I think it was a good day, right? Going to ask you one more time. I feel like I did my job. All I'm asking for is return is for you to click that thumbs up button right there. Just let me know you care. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for a testimonial. I'm not asking you to share it with your friends if you don't want to. I'm just asking you for you to tell me that this was a good use of our time. This is a fairly new session. I've only been doing it a couple of months. So I'd appreciate feedback. That's all. That's all I'm asking. All right. Cool. Now at TradersWay.com on Monday, I will be reviewing the Commitment of Traders report. And I'll be reviewing the calendar for the week. And you're welcome to join us. Just open up a demo account at TradersWay.com, and there's a little webinar button in your back office. That's all. Pretty easy. Oh, yeah, you're right. No, it won't be Monday. I'm sorry. It won't be Monday. Thank you for mentioning that, Ron. I appreciate that. Not Monday because it's a holiday. Let's take a look at the education program through the university that Gus was talking about earlier on FX Street. Getting an education never hurt anybody. Again, please email me if you have a question. Please email me if you're a successful trader and you're looking for money. Email me if you're an Elliott Wave expert and you're interested in a job. And that's it. My email is wayne@fxbootcamp.com. Yes, this session is recorded. So everything's pretty good. So thank you to FX Street for being wonderful hosts. I appreciate that. Thank you, FX Street, for being good people. Remember, I have a simple goal this year. Actually, I have two simple goals this year. One, I want to help you make at least 1,000 pips because you attended my events. That you can add up at least 1,000 pips and say that was because of stuff I learned from Wayne. And two, I'd like to win Forex Person of the Year from FX Street because they're the best, and I'd like to be known as the best of the best. Why not? Now, I can only get that through loyalty, so I hope I've earned it. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And I'll be here every single Friday for you. 109th non-farm payrolls coming up soon. 109 non-farm payrolls. That's coming up fairly soon. I'm already looking forward to that. Okay. So again, guys, email me, wayne@fxbootcamp.com. And I'll see you next week over at TradersWay.com. Thanks for being on my team, guys.